Hello, fifth graders, and welcome to your math lesson. For today, you will need your 5A textbook, your 5A workbook, your math resource binder, and paper and a pencil. Or, of course, if you've been using a whiteboard and a whiteboard marker, that will continue to work well. For your warm-up today, I'm asking you to solve a multiplication problem mentally. So go ahead and pause, and when you're done, come on back and see how you did. Hopefully, fifth graders, you are multiplying one part at a time. So we start with 4 times 4, which is 16, but it's 40 times 4, so 160. And then 2 times 4 is 8, so we get 168. So fifth graders, our objective for today is really to be practicing these mental math strategies that we already learned for multiplication over the last 2 days. Okay, we're going to work through a lot of them, do a lot of practice problems, and then your homework is going to continue to build off of that. So you're going to need to open your textbook to page 35. And we're going to go pretty quickly. I'll solve a bunch with you, and then I'm going to have you guys pause and solve some. And remember, go ahead and just work along with me as we go so that you're able to get that practice in. Okay, so I'm going to flip us around and then we'll get started. So we're looking all the way down at number 6 here. These two, in this whole section of number 6, we're going to be looking at 2 strategies. We're going to be looking at the breaking up the problem, and we're going to be looking at saving 10 for last. Okay. Sorry while I get situated, fifth graders. This is taking me a little bit more time than usual. All right, here we go. So 6A, in this case, we're going to be breaking up the problem, much like we just did for our warm-up problem, okay? So again, you're working with me. I'm going to go pretty quickly through these, and then I'll have you guys pause and try on your own. So again, when we break up the problem, we're doing one part at a time. So we say 7 times 2 is 14, but remember it's 70 times 2, so 140, plus 4 times 2 is 8, so we get 148. Part B, 48 times 3. So remember, we start with 40 times 3, which is 120, plus 8 times 3 is 24. We add these together to get 144. C, 67 times 4. Remember, we start with 60 times 4. So if 6 times 4 is 24, then 60 times 4 is 240, plus 7 times 4 is 28. We add these together to get 268. Fifth graders, I'm going to ask you to pause, do D, E, and F on your own. When you've solved them, come on back and see how you did. So again, since you guys have already solved these problems, we're going to go pretty quickly through our solutions. So D, 36 times 7. 30 times 7 is 210. 6 times 7 is 42. Add these together to get 252. E, 94 times 5. So 90 times 5, you got 450. 4 times 5 is 20. We add these together to get 470. F, 83 times 6. 80, well, 8 times 6, let's start there, is 48. So 80 times 6 is 480. 3 times 6 is 18 to get 498. How'd we do, fifth graders? Hopefully that went well for you. So we're going to try these next ones. This is the save 10 for last strategy. So we're going to kind of keep doing what we were already doing and then adding that 0 at the end, okay? So 36 times 20 is the same as 36 times 2 times 10. This part in parentheses is like what we just finished doing, okay? So we take it a part at a time. 30 times 2 is 60. 6 times 2 is 12. We add these together to get 72, and then we add our 0, 720. Let's try the next one. 25 times 40. So this is the same as 25 times 4 times 10. We break it apart. 20 times 4 is 80. 5 times 4 is 20. We add these together. 80 plus 20 is 100. And we add our 0 for 1,000. Let's do one more together and then I'll have you try on your own. 76 times 50. Remember, that is the same as saying 76 times 5 times 10. We start with our first part of it, 76 times 5. 70 times 5 is 350. 6 times 5 is 30. We add these together. 380 times 10, we add that 0. Fifth graders, go ahead and try J, K, and I on your own. When you're done, come on back and see how you did. So remember, 62 times 70 is the same as 62 times 7 times 10. 60 times 7 is 420. 2 times 7 is 14. We add those together to get 434 and add a 0, 4,340. K. Remember, 43 times 60 is the same as 43 times 6 times 10. We start here. 40 times 6 is 240. 3 times 6 is 18. We add them together. 258 times 10, we add that 0, 2,580. And L. 29 times 80 is the same as 29 times 8 times 10. 20 times 8 is 160. 9 times 8 is 72. Multiply by 10. This addition was maybe a little bit trickier to do because we had to do some regrouping, but we should have gotten 232 times 10. We add that 0 to get 2,320. How are we doing with our practice, fifth graders? Hopefully it's going okay. Okay, so on the next page, 36, our next strategy is the save one for last strategy. Okay, so part A, working with me on 8A. 45 times 11 is the same as 45 times 10, plus, remember, not plus 1, but plus 145, okay? So 45 times 10 is 450. We add 45 and get 495. I know I'm going kind of fast, fifth graders, but you're working along here, and then I'll let you get a chance to try on your own. All right, so now we're kind of going to synthesize 3 different of our strategies, okay? 26 times 51. This is the same as 26 times 50 plus 126. We're adding back that 26. So now we can kind of break this apart into the save 1 for last or save 10 for last strategy. Okay, 20 times 5 is 100. 6 times 5 is 30. We add these together, which is 130 times 10. We add a 0, and we add back our 26, which is 1,326. I'd like to take a moment to pause and admire how beautiful your brains are right now, that we are working with 3 different mental math strategies in order to get all of these things working mentally. That's incredible. That's amazing. You should feel so proud of yourselves. Let's try one more together, and then I'm going to have you guys pause and try on your own. So 18 times 61. We're going to do 18 times 60 plus 118. Not plus 1, but plus 1 more 18, because we're 118 short. Now we want to think of this as saving 10 for last. 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 8 is 48. Times 10 plus 18. 60 and 48, we add those together to get 108. Times 10 means we add a 0. And now we add 18 to get 1,098. Beautiful. Fifth graders, I would like you to pause and do D and E. Just D and E, and then come on back and see how you did. For D, fifth graders, remember we're going to do 69 times 30, plus we're going to add one more 69 back in at the end. Now we're doing 69 times 3 times 10, plus 69. 60 times 3 is 180. 9 times 3 is 27. Times 10 plus 69. We add these together to get 207. Times 10 means add a 0. Plus 69. This one, again, was probably a little bit tricky because you had some regrouping to do, but 2,139. Let's try E. So you're doing, again, 71 times 70. You're going to add one more 71 at the end, which is really the same as 71 times 7 times 10 plus 71. 70 times 7 is 490. 1 times 7 is 7. We add these together to get 497, but then we're multiplying by 10, so we add a 0. And now we add 71. 5,000. Ooh, I almost did that wrong. 5,141. You should get 5,141 as your answer. Fifth graders, we're going to do a couple more practice problems together, and then we'll have you go on with your homework. So remember, in this case, we're very close to 100. So 10A is close to 100. So we're going to multiply and estimate to get 56 times 100, but that's 156 too many. So we need to subtract that. So now we have 56 plus our 2 zeros, and we subtract 56. Okay, this might be kind of tricky to do in your heads because there's a lot of regrouping going on, but if we subtract, we should get 5,544. And if you're ever uncertain, you can always go back and check and see if you did your subtraction correctly. Okay. Similar with B, we're going to do 72 times 100, which is 7,200, but that's 172 too many. So now we're going to subtract. Okay, so we now have 70,000 or 7,200 minus 72, which should get you 7,128. Let's try, we're going to skip C for now and go to D because we're doing a lot of practice today. I know we are. Okay, so 75 times 59. This is close to, it's approximately equal to 75 times 60. And we should know how to do that problem because that's the same as 75 times 6 times 10. So 75 times 6, we say 70 times 6 is 420. 5 times 6 is 30. We add these together to get 450, and then we add that 0 because we're multiplying by 10. However, remember, we just multiplied by 60, and we were supposed to multiply by 59, which means we have one too many 75s. So we subtract and get 4,425. All of these are going to be similar, that we're going to be kind of one too many. So we need to take away 1. Here we took away 156. Here we took away 172. Here we took away 175 to get us back to where we wanted to be. All right, fifth graders, our last strategy that we're going to practice today is my favorite. And this is our strategy, find 4 times 25. Remember, that's going to be 100. So if we can find 4 times 25, that's going to help us out, okay? So in this case, we want to say 16 times 25. We want to break 16 into factors that include 4. So 4 times what is 16? 4 times 4. Now we know that 4 times 25 is 100. 4 times 100 is 400. Let's try B. Again, we want to find 28 such that it's a factor. One of its factors is 4. So 4 times what is 28? 4 times 7. Now we know 4 times 25 is 100. 7 times 100 is 700. Let's try 2 more. C is 52 times 25. So again, we want to break that into something times 4 times 25. 4 times what is 52? We should get 13. We know that this is 100, so 13 times 100, we add 2 zeros to get 1,300. Last one, I know we're going quickly, 5th graders, but I'm trying to get you lots of practice. Again, we're trying to find 25 times 4. So we ask 4 times what is 48? It's 4 times 12. 25 times 4 is 100. So we add our 2 zeros to get 1,200. 5th graders, I know we did a lot of practice today, a lot of work, but you're going to have a chance to practice that in your workbooks. So your practice is going to be to work on page 27 in your workbook. Check your answers with the key. Do not submit a picture, okay? Your homework then is page 28, so that you're going to solve and submit a picture of. Good luck, 5th graders. Ask for help. I know we did a lot of practice today, but this is really reviewing the last 2 days, so hopefully it's clicking a little bit more as we're working here. But if you need help, go ahead and ask, and I look forward to seeing your work. Good luck.